Season 3, Episode 1, Seed. This is the best season opening so far, besides, the pilot, obviously. In general, this episode was really badass, especially the way it started out. I remember watching it when it aired, and I was like, holy shit, now this is the group. Now, it's been 7 months since the last season. They've been on the road. They've been living on the road, which is surprising. They didn't come across anybody else at all, just a bunch of herds. So that was, when you look at it now, looking back, you're like, shouldn't they have come across some other survivors? But they didn't want to introduce anybody else, I guess, yet. They spent the entire winter on the road. The crew is bad fucking ass now. So badass. They go around, even Carl, like, the best part about the opening of this episode is they're going to, they're scavengers, hunters, I guess, and they're going into house to house looking for things to survive, eat, live, and then they go to this house and they don't say a word to each other. The whole opening, nobody speaks, because they don't want to draw any walkers to them, and it's just bad fucking ass. They go in there like fucking SWAT team. Even fucking T-Dog's a badass, Carl's a badass. It's fucking amazing. And then Carl finds, dog food, and he's like, hey, I found dog food. Well, he's like ready to open and feed, and everyone's looking at it like, this is what life's become to. You know what I also like to say that was cool too? It's like the guy who played Herschel, I guess it's Iron Singleton, or I don't know what his name is. I gotta look it up. I really don't know his name. But he lost weight to do this. So to make it realistic, Maggie looks fucking sexy as hell. And she's a badass too. So they go, then the only line or anything said between anybody, Rick takes the dog food and throws it in the fucking fireplace. He's like, basically telling him we don't eat fucking dog food. But in the future, we'll eat dogs. But he's like, nah, fuck that shit. And then, Carl, he's like, whatever, all right. And T-Dog's like, psst. That's the only line in the whole opening. And they go, they run out and they just fucking... It's badass. It's a badass opening. This whole episode, you find out, like, the last 7 months, them being on the road, they're just fucking badasses now. There's no bullshit. Like, that's what makes them... Most of their crew, the way they are in future episodes, like, why they think they could do anything. But they've been living on the road. They've been, like... you see the next scene, they pull over on the road and they're like, okay... if we go here, these two herds are going to end up meeting each other and we're going to get stuck. So we're going to have to travel backwards. So they've been marking down where they see herds of walkers. And they're like, all right, let's go get water and let's go hunt because we didn't have enough food. And then they see the prison. And Rick's like, yep, we got to go to the prison because, Lori can't have the baby on the road. We can't have the baby on the road. We need somewhere secure. So... they find the prison, and Rick's like, we're taking that shit. It's ours now. And they break in. They start killing all the walkers. You start seeing, again, how badass they all are. And Maggie is... You see, this is why it's like... I don't want people to think I don't like her. I like her a lot, especially in this season. Like, she's become Andrea. Like, she took Andrea's place. Like, she's a badass. Like, she goes with the guys. She's not with the girls, and the girls don't say anything about it. Carol's different, too. Her character's totally changed. She's learning how to shoot better. And Rick's like, I'm going in, I'm going to lock that gate, we're going to take this, we're going to stay there, we're going to be secure, we don't have to worry about shit, we're fenced in, nothing's going to get to us, but we just got to take down these walkers. Everyone does their job, they lure the walkers to the gate. I would say Beth is like the only useless one, kind of, but she still kind of does something. And they just fucking start going to work. And then who goes inside is, that's later. But Rick runs inside, locks in, they start shooting, and it's epic. It's an epic opening. Rick's like, we got to go inside. Like, this is good where we are now, but we can go inside. Herschel's like, this is a great place. We could build a canal. We could bring water from that lake into so we don't have to go outside. We could plant seeds, cucumbers, soybeans. Like, this is like the perfect place. And Rick's like, we got to go inside because that's all good for the future. But right now, we need food and we need to be somewhere secure, and we have to push in, and we could do it. And that's what their plan is. Carol's changed her character because she said something. I forgot. I can't make out what the fuck Daryl was trying to say about Shane something. He mentioned Shane. And Carol's like, she goes, stop it. And she goes, Shane, Rick's done good by us. Like, Shane would have never gotten us this far. Like, which is true. Most likely, most of them would be dead already. Shane would just be worried about Lori and Carl and the baby. So everybody, and he wouldn't even give a shit about Herschel. He definitely would have killed him. Like, oh, don't worry, we'll figure out how to have this baby. But yeah, it's true. Like, Rick is a badass leader. Carol respects him now, And he's like, you know, I underestimated him. But then there's like this little love dynamic between them. And it's like, that's why everyone thought, and some people still do, that there's a relationship there, a sexual relationship between them. Because they even have a little sexual banter, and they say something like, she goes like, let's, you know, we have some time, let's be romantic or something. And he's like, you know, he like rolls his eyes or whatever. And then he goes, I'll go down first, meaning he's going to go down into the bus because they're standing on top of a bus. And she goes, even better. And he goes, stop it. You know, she was talking about him going down on her, and they were giggling or whatever. So I don't know. She's not that much older than him. People like to think that Carol's much older than him. She's like 3 years older than him. But I don't know. I don't know. I figured they'd be good together. I don't know what the problem is. But I guess we see later, and also like the way he looked at her in the previous seasons, it's more like he sees his mother in her and the way she was abused and everything. So like I guess that's why it's like a motherly, like it's that kind of relationship, especially like later when she saves them and he sees her and he like hugs her, like he's so happy to see her like his mom. But like they have a good relationship, and we'll talk about all that stuff later. After that, we see Michonne, and she's going into a store. She finds aspirin. She kills 3 walkers with her katana, so we know she's a fucking badass already. Rick and them and Maggie and fucking T-Dog and Daryl, they go in, they start cleaning fucking house inside the prison courtyard, killing everything. There's a cool scene with like these walkers come out in body gear and like they try to kill him but they can't, and then Maggie like pushes one walker's head and puts the knife through his neck, and then the walker dies, and she turns around, she's so excited, she's like, you see that? And they were like, they didn't like respond, they just, as soon as they turn around, got a walker do the same thing, and they're just like, there's no time to be happy for her, even though they were like, oh fuck yeah, that's how you kill him. That was cool. And then they push inside the prison, and they're like, yep, we got this so far. Also, Lori wants to talk to Rick, but Rick has been pushing her away for the last 7 months because of what happened, her reaction to when he said he had to kill Shane. And she tries to talk to him, she tries to thank him, and he's like, I'm doing things, Lori. What else do you want from me? But so he's not really talking to her much. But yes, so then we see Michonne going into this, I don't know, this store, and Andrea's inside. So she's been alive too for the entire winter, and they've been living together, and they've been on the road too. So you know that even though Andrea's really sick, it seems like she's about to die because she doesn't have the proper medicine. Michonne's like lying to her and telling her everything's clear outside when they're not. They're going to be overtaken. And Andrea's like, I'm not dying here. If we don't move, I'm going to end up dying here, and I don't want to die here. So then they leave. Now they go into the tombs because they need to find the cafeteria, the food, and then just the cafeteria. They just need to find the cafeteria for now. I think the infirmary also, they want to find that so when the baby comes, they have supplies and stuff. So they go in, and it's overrun. They get separated. It gets quiet for a while. Herschel comes out. He's looking for Glen and Maggie, and the fucking walker bites him in the leg. Then they're fucking screaming. They grab Herschel. They run. They find a room. They break into the fucking room because it was handcuffed shut. They break in there, close the door behind them, and like, Rick's like, there's only one way to save his life, and fucking hatches his fucking leg off. Daryl's like, duck to Rick. So then Rick like ducks. Daryl like draws his crossbow and sees like 5 guys standing behind a gated cafeteria table, a counter table. And that white guy, forgot his name, he's like, holy shit, and the episode ends. And that was pretty much, the whole episode was holy shit. It was a great fucking episode. It was a great way to kick it off. I don't know what happens between now and the middle of this season. What changed? Something changed. But we'll talk about that next time. I enjoyed this episode a lot. This is a fun-ass episode. I saw this episode like 4 times already. You know. If I missed something, let me know. But I really enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you thought about Season 3, Episode 1 Seed down below. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.